Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to answer a question from the YouTube comment section. And in this one, it's a question about how this game, it's something I say on the channel all the time. I say, this game has changed my life and I believe it can change yours. And I think that that's actually a sentiment I truly carry. Financially, this game has been a radical success for me, and I really believe that it's going to repeat that success, but that's not a short-term thing, and that over years, what I say is a long enough time horizon, which is usually 3, 4, 5 years, you can expect to see assets that you're accumulating now earning for free through time and attention to really manifest into a significant reward. So the question is around, like, how has it changed my life, and wanting me to go deeper on that. But first I want to read in his own words, and I'll give him a shout out. Angelo, I'm going to say Hovero, he said, several times I hear you say the game has changed your life. Wonder if you can tell your story about that in one of your content. How's your life before Splinterlands? How you got to Splinterlands? What convinced you to commit to the game, and how you built your Splinterlands empire? So first of all, Angelo, when you drop comments, make sure you leave your IGN, your in-game name, and I will send you a thank you when I see that. I feel as though I've answered this question lots of times, but we always get new subscribers, and also I see you've got 9 thumbs up on your comment, so that makes me want to get into it. I guess I want to just unpack where I came from and how I got into the game, and then I'm going to spend some time on how financially where that started and where it's gotten to, and I'm going to then close with how I think it's repeatable. So how I came to the game, what my financial story here has been, and is it repeatable? So, I came to Splinterlands from something called Steam. The Steam blockchain first of all, Steam is a cryptocurrency. The Steam blockchain is a blockchain that is very much like Hive, and it has it's delegated proof of stake. So certain people who delegate the token can have extra vote power, extra, I guess, authority on that, just like SPS, very much like SPS in many ways. And then I learned about that, and it was a blogging site, and it was interesting to me because I thought I can actually post a content like a video or a blog and receive rewards for that. That's really interesting, and that still exists. I don't think anyone really uses Steam anymore. There was eventually a hard fork where Steam and Hive separated, and Hive is now where we mostly see, I guess, the development that I'm aware of, including Splinterlands. Splinterlands used to be called Steam Monsters, and it was on the Steam blockchain. And so I heard about Steam Monsters through my blogging on Steam, and I was captured by that technology because Steam was showing me for the first time ever that my time and attention was worth something. When I posted an article on Steam, it was called Steemit, is the blogging website, and this is an old article that I posted there. Steemit.com/Splinterlands /@Infidel1258, and this was my article title. Not too bad, Splinterlands. This is from 2 years ago, and I would post this from time to time. I would post. This is one of my later articles where I was actually now into Steam Monsters, and I'd been earning. And see, this is just a quick little post, but I would earn something on it. Like I got 87 cents for posting that. And it's very quickly, this is just me talking about my rewards. This won't make me rich, but it ain't bad either. These rewards are a great example of an average daily reward, not particularly valuable, but helpful and welcome additions to my deck. And you can see right there, like, these were cards I earned for free. Like, look at that card. Phineas Rage is one of the best secondary tanks on the fire team at any, I think, period. Etten Spearman is an excellent high mana archer with knockout at higher levels. Screeching Vulture is one of the best, I think, opportunity monsters in the game. It has scavenge at higher levels, and it gets crazy amount of hit points if you leave it alone. Centauri Mage is one that's a bit like, I don't see that one a lot, but it's got some cool features, including a lot of hit points, which is great because a lot of magic monsters on the green team are low hit points. And the Warrior of Peace, which is such a beast for its nerfs. It's such an amazing support monster with, I think, 15 hit points at the highest level, or 14. And look at this DEC, back when we got DEC with the chests. So my point is, I came to Steam because I was curious about blockchain technology, and I was recognizing the fact that I could earn value for my time and attention. And so I was striving to do that. And you can actually go back and like look at all my posts. I got, I guess, 3,000 plus posts on Steam. And these are all different things I would have written about and earned 90 cents-ish per post per day kind of thing. And that was just value I was accumulating that I would then pour into Steam monsters at the time. And that was easy because Steam would trade for DEC, and I could then put DEC into my cards and into my in-game value. And eventually Hive separated from Steam, and I won't get into that, but that was a whole kind of, it's called a hard fork, and it was done for, I guess, governance reasons and concerns about who was running the Steemit blockchain and the Steam blockchain and the Steemit app. And so by that point already, I'm deep into Splinterlands, and this is the point of the story where the bear market has really brutalized my investments personally. I got into cryptocurrency at a time when Bitcoin was $3,000, and then I'll show you on the chart here. Bitcoin was $3,000 right about there. It was actually it was August or September of 2017, and then in a few short months, from August to December, we went from 3,000 to 18,000, and you can imagine my investments went up dramatically. Maybe not 7 times or 6 times like that illustration, because I was invested in this altcoin and that altcoin, and I was flipping and trading, and it was going really poorly because I was still learning cryptocurrency. But the point is, it went up. This is all the money I had in the world I put into cryptocurrency at that point. All the extra money I had in the world was invested in cryptocurrency at around that time. And because of bad trades, by the time it reached the top, I turned my money into probably 4 times its original value. And I'm thinking, holy cow, this is amazing. But then very rapidly, from December 2017 to January, let's just quickly zoom in there. From December here, 2017 to, look at this, like 2-3 weeks later, it's gone down, 25%. And then another 2 weeks later, it's gone down another 10-15%. And then we're down at 7,000-ish, 6,200 a month and a half after that. So within probably 8 weeks, it goes from all-time highs where I've quadrupled my money down into dizzying lows. But I didn't think it was done at that point, and I was still convinced cryptocurrency was meaningful. I just figured this was a bear market, and I just knew that in this period that you're looking at me highlighting, this window, there was going to be multiple years of sort of quiet and silence and accumulation. And I just dollar cost average all along the way, specifically with Splinterlands, because at this point I took all the money that I had in cryptocurrency and poured it into this game. That's what I did, because I really believed that this game was fun and entertaining and had a future. And that connection of fun and has a future with the idea that it rewards me for my time and attention. So rewarding, also fun and rewarding. Wow, okay, let's go. So I put my money has gone from it quadrupled in value and then went to like 1/3 of my original investment. So I've lost a ton of money in just, let's say, 8 months. But I didn't feel I lost it. This is really important. I want you guys to hear this. A ton of new people out there leave comments all the time like you've lost value because you invested at an all-time high last August and now you feel you've lost money. And I think that is super short-sighted because you're not recognizing what this game could be in 4 years. If you really understood what this game could be in 4 years, then you would feel that the value of the tokens you're holding, the game cards you're holding, are going to be greater in the future, and therefore you haven't lost anything. You just can't withdraw that price today. And so that was my mindset. Therefore I didn't care that I had quote unquote lost value. I just did what I could to enjoy the game as often as I could, usually daily, every single day, trying to get those daily rewards and maximize my season rewards, doing certain monster flips or any sort of things that I could do to extract a bit more value out of this game, including, acquiring DEC for my blog posts through Steemit, and then using it to buy Untamed booster packs. So there's a lot of options back then to kind of grow what you were doing, and still today, obviously there are. I mean, in the shop we've got Chaos Legion packs, we've got Riftwatcher gems, we've got Tower Defense, which is just sold out. Runies are coming soon. Licensors have them. Like, there's so much going on, and if you're paying attention right now in this bear market, in 4 years' time, you're going to be laughing. But we'll get there. That's got to be. Let's finish the video on that topic. That's how I got into it. That's how I got invested in it. That's a bit about my story. And then how did it turn into significant gains? Like I say, I really just focused on it. Once I decided for myself that this game was fun and going to be here and for many years to come, I just said, okay, I need to acquire as many of these as possible. And that was through, for me, 3 main things. 1, playing the game as often as I could. 2, earning a bit of cryptocurrency for my time and attention through things like Steemit, which you can still do through Hive or through Splinterlands, splintertalk.io. Or 3Speak or whatever. There's different cryptocurrency based websites that you can earn crypto. You can use things like Brave Browser and earn basic attention tokens. These are different avenues that you can put together a few dollars just monthly probably, which could then be put into Splinterlands, which then could increase the amount of access and cards you have and the levels you're playing at, which then produces even more rewards. And all the while you're accumulating these inexpensive NFT tokens, or for that matter, cryptocurrency like SPS. And then you say to yourself, well, it's so cheap, who cares? It's only 1 penny. It's only 1 penny. It's only like, yeah, well, if you're making a couple dollars a month doing those different things I talked about, Brave Browser, Hive Engine, monster flipping, a couple dollars a month could go into buying and accumulating a lot of these cards, a lot of them, like hundreds of copies each, right? Like $3 is going to be 300 BCX of these various 1-cent cards. Not only is that going to improve what you can do in the meantime while you're enjoying the game and the level at which you're playing, but ultimately it can grow the value of your investment, not just in the short term by $3 a month, but in the long term if the value of the cards goes up. And so that's my story, and it went from $5,000 investment at the really at the bottom of the bear market. When I really poured everything into Splinterlands, it was $5,000 US, and it moved up to now my main account is worth $55,000 US, and that I have 7 accounts, and some of them are worth 7 or 5 or 10,000. So I probably have about $75,000 in cards. I also have, probably 50,000 SPS, and I've got, I have 3 nodes. I have 250 Riftwatcher packs. I have 1,000 Chaos Legion packs. I have a ton of different assets. I have 15 land plots. I have a ton of different assets in this game that have accumulated over time, and that's going to continue. That portfolio is going to continue growing because I'm being intentional about growing it. And I'm always looking for like the best deals and the greatest ways to maximize what I'm doing here. But the most important points I want you to hear is that that's never a short-term conversation. I mean, one time ever, I think, have I said to myself, well, maybe I could buy some of this and hold it for a short term and flip it. And that's not the play. The play is acquire these things with your time and attention and hold them for many years, and then wait for that huge appreciation when it comes, because necessarily cards that are deflationary in nature will appreciate with price or with time. And these cards are deflationary in nature. There's only so many copies of them, and they're constantly shrinking in number because yes, there's 22,000 copies of the Pelacor Mercenary on here, and that's a lot. There's going to be something like I think it was 20,000 max level copies. I think there's 8 million Pelacor mercenaries out there. And you say, oh, that's a huge number. But 400 copies of them get burnt when somebody makes a max level copy. And I personally have many max level copies. And so the idea that 8 million is a lot is just confused because you don't understand how many get burnt when we consolidate. And then some, you could respond and say, well, not everyone is gonna max level it. Sure. But if there's 1,000 that get max leveled and there's, 500 to get level 8s, and there's, that probably, I'm going to say 1,000 that go level 6. I think the same logic applies where there isn't enough. And right now you think there is enough because currently there is. But that supply is being created with these reward cards at this moment, and therefore you have a glut, an income, a growth of the supply. At one point in the future, in the near future, that growth will end. And when the supply growth ends, that the only thing that's left in the equation is the diminishment of supply through burning, through consolidation. That's when you're going to start to see significant price appreciation. And it seems like it's about a 1.5 year cycle for cards to get in the market and then out of the market, at which point you start to see that deflation of their supply. And that's where we see that's where I'm calling for a new renewed boom on prices for cards that you guys are accumulating now and which I'm stacking now. And so the thing that we had to end on is like this idea that I really believe, and this is why I say it, this is replicable. I really believe this game has changed my life financially, going from $5,000 to $50,000, no, maybe $100,000 worth of value. At today's prices, going from $5,000 to $100,000. And it's changed my life in that I believe this is going to go like 10, 20, 50x a gain. And it's not every card and it's not every asset, but it's these ones that are really cheap. And so I'm accumulating many of them. It's the ones that are going to be really meta defining at that time in 3, 4, 5 years. But if we believe, and if that happens, and if the game doesn't, experience some sort of black swan event, then I'm convinced that's going to be the story that unfolds. And that's why I say that with confidence, that it's changed my life, and it can change yours too, because it already has. And I believe that change is going to be magnified again in another 4 years. So I'm expectant of something even bigger, but it's already done things like bought me this amazing computer that I'm coming to you, recording this video on. It's paid for the Splinterfest trip that I'm going to be going on with a friend, going down to Vegas to meet some of you guys that are going to be there. It's created a YouTube channel for me through which I'm able to communicate with, thousands of people about this amazing blockchain-based video game. It's helped me better understand NFT technology and hopefully position me in a place where I'm going to benefit from some of the growth in this, I think, revolution of video games. Not just through Splinterlands, but through all of its mini games within the game, including Land, which is a mini game, Brawl, which is a mini game, the Tower Defense, that's a game within this game. GLS, Genesis League Sports. It's starting with soccer, but it's going to expand into many other games. This system is growing. It's not going to be one game. It's actually going to be a library of games. And those who are here now and investing and taking their time to grow what they've got here, that portfolio of assets is actually going to expand and reach into these other worlds that are going to have financial benefit for you. And that is why I really think in 4 or 5 years, what I've got here is going to be so much bigger. And anyone who's taking this seriously is going to have that same opportunity. And lots of you think that means I've got to dump money into it. And I always say that's not the case. But yet I can almost hear your thoughts. Like some of you are like, well, I need to put a few thousand in. No, you don't. If you just put your time and attention, you really could. And you rent cards, so you're getting resource points, and you're claiming your dailies, and you're claiming you could put almost nothing in. Like, I mean, a few $100 would be a ton of money for some people and would accomplish a great deal. Would thousands accomplish more? If it's handled wisely, it certainly could. Would 10,000s be even more successful? Again, if it's handled wisely, it could. But you can do so much with very little if you focus on investing your time and attention, and you actually are attentive and thoughtful about what sort of plays and trades and flips and things within this game could really move the needle. And so that's why I say this game has changed my life, because it really financially moved me from almost nothing to a significant value in the last 4 years, 2017 to 2022. So 5 years. Blockchain and Splinterlands has moved me from almost nothing to a significant investment. That's one thing. The second thing is moving me to another level in the future, which I'm fully expectant on. And then third, it's just created this financial opportunity through this YouTube experience. And hopefully that is replicable for you. I really think it is. The question is, do you agree? And if you're not sure, I encourage you to deep dive on two things. Do you think the game is fun? If not, walk away. Do you think it has a future? If not, walk away. But if it's fun and if it has a future, then I say accumulate as many of the assets as you're able to, and be patient about the price appreciation. Don't expect it to come in days or weeks or even months, but recognize that 4 years away from now is probably the next, bull cycle where we see Bitcoin go into wild new territory, and along with it, the altcoin market, and along with it, the NFT market. And if this is happening, all this chaos lately, like look at what's happening with 10 million Chaos Legion packs sold, Rift Watcher pre-sales sold out in 45 seconds. The new Tower Defense pre-sale sells out in, I think, 10 hours, 12 hours or something like that. The game's not even made, guys. Land's coming, Brawl rewards are coming. There's so much going on here that I think it at least merits your deep consideration about the claims of, is this replicable? Seriously consider that question for yourself. And if you think so, then just sit back and enjoy the game, and let that be a resource generating tool. That time and attention is going to generate resources, and just be, that's where that life-changing opportunity is going to come in 3, 4, 5 years. So thanks for the question, and have an amazing day, guys. God bless.